Hey folks, I'm back with another interesting guest today. I like the person and the kind of work he has been putting out there. Seems to be much more entrepreneurial driven, but also seems like a very avid, curious indie hacker. So Julian is joining us today. The person who actually created TweetSync, if I'm not mistaken. So, hi, Julian. Thanks so much. If you could give me your introduction to our audience, a line or two about yourself, that would be great.
Hey Gush. Yeah, so thanks for having me. I'm Julien. I'm French. I used to work at AWS as a software engineer, and I recently left to focus on other side projects I had. The main one I'm working on currently is called Notion Forms, which is like a form builder for Notion users. And then I have like other tiny projects I'm trying to develop on the side,
Great, great.
mostly in the indie hacker space.
Got it. So, how did your journey get started? I'm pretty sure, like when you were working in AWS, you had a lot of side projects, and you pretty much would have tested a lot of other tools, or utilities, or apps which you might have developed earlier. So, can you share when did this journey get started and how you got interested into this?
Yeah, so I think I left my last day at AWS was almost a year ago now, maybe like February or something, maybe March, I don't know, but roughly 1 year ago. And then I had two sides project. One was, like a crawler for real estate, was like for digital restaurant menu. Uh, but pretty much like pretty soon after I left Amazon, I kind of killed this project. Like I don't know, I wasn't feeling like spending more time on it because they weren't like they were not very successful, and I didn't feel any traction, and it was like some areas I wasn't super familiar with, like real estate and Western industry is something like very particular, and I knew basically nothing about it, so that was a bit hard. But I was fun, with moving on, so I started to do some freelance work. And I was, just playing around. I started to be active on Twitter, and then I started, I was doing very small MVPs, and I did one for Notion Forms. So basically, I spent a few days hacking a, form builder for Notion, and it was like super simple, super buggy, and I just shared it on Twitter and Reddit, and people really liked it. So I just kept working on it, and now it's one of my main projects.
Okay. So you are building Notion form with other founder, or it is individual
No, it's just me.
individual contribution? Okay. Uh, how did TweetSync come around? I mean, like it seems to be a fun, cool project which so many individuals are actually using it.
There aren't that many people using it actually, because it does look a bit like so you have like this progress bar with your monthly working revenue or whatever metric you want to show. But like people were using this kind of focus bar before I did tweeting. So like not all of them are using tweeting. I think there are around like less than 20 people using tweeting right now. But yeah, it's just like I like the whole building public thing, so I wanted to do the same. So I was sharing my progress, my stats, and my revenue. So I was doing as everyone else, putting my revenue in the location field on Twitter, and I thought it would be fun to have that done automatically. So I just built TweetSync, and I thought I might as well give it to other people to
Okay.
encourage this building public thing.
Got it. The design looks neat. The page looks neat. It's simple, easy to understand, and it makes
Thanks.
things easy for everyone to really get on with it. So I might actually try it out after this discussion. So the thing what I know want to know about you is like how are you approaching your Notion form business? What learnings are you gathering, and how do you approach your day-to-day activities as a indie hacker, and how do you structure it, and what are your goals? How do we actually should think about goals, and how do we actually pursue it? So if you can share some thoughts over that, it would be useful.
Yeah, I feel your question, but I'm not sure I'm like the best example, because really I was I was working on project just because I wanted to, because I thought it'd be fun to work on, because I thought it could be useful. And then, for instance, for Notion Forms, it just it started to grow, and at every stage I felt, oh, this is cool already. If it can stop going here and I'd be happy. So it's kind of, I'm always being surprised by this project. I just keep working on it because I want to, because I like to, but it's not like I have like, I never had like super high expectations. Now I start to have some, but it's kind of unexpected, this whole thing. Yeah, I'm not sure like how to, like I didn't plan this at all. I started, obviously, when I started to monetize it, and I was hoping, oh, it'd be cool to reach this milestone or this milestone, but nothing really too organized, I'd say. And then regarding kind of organization, uh, again, it's like I don't have, because I do a lot of things. Like I have this project, I do freelance work, I have like other projects. So my time is really split. At first it was super hard, especially as I was working from home. I was like always there, so basically my home was my office, and I was, just, it was kind of hard to separate things. Like I was always, my computer was always on, and I was always receiving, messages from, I don't know, customer support, that kind of thing. So it was easy to just spend my whole day, my whole time responding to people, adding this feature, like doing different stuff, and that was becoming a bit stressful. Like I liked it, but it was taking all of my time, and I kind of felt bad when I was out and not able to answer that kind of things. So I didn't, I spent a bit of time in trying to plan things. Okay, like this time is for this project, this time is for this project. But the main thing I did is separate. So I was able to get like a small room, this room actually, which is like a really tiny studio, and I just put my office there, and it's not in my home. So now it's like 5 minutes away, and when I go there, I work, and when I live there, I leave my, and I know it enabled me to really separate life and work, which I think is a good thing, especially when you're like doing indie hacking work, where basically the work is never done. You don't have a boss, like you're your own boss, so you always incentivized to work in a way because you work for you. So I think that was super helpful to me to be able to separate uh, work and life.
Got it. That
Did I
makes
answer your
like
questions?
no.
Because there were
Fine.
many questions, and
No, you have been very honest actually. I mean, like this is exactly how you and I do, right? I'm running my business as well as I'm trying to create will pay. I'm trying to do other activities, but it's not like we have to do it. But yeah, we are just curious and we want to explore what happens next, as and when we talk to customers and we start solving problems. That's exactly how you portrayed it.
yeah.
So my only thing is. Uh, Okay, so there is no definitive explanation or assumption what we can make for that MRR, right? Like how many customers we want, how many individuals we want to support. But definitely, as a business, if we are really serious about business, we should have a number, we should have a target, we should have a goal, we should have a
Yeah,
customer.
yeah, of
Yeah.
course.
So, how do you plan for it? Is there a plan or a structure, or you are still learning on the go
So
every time?
you mean, yeah, I do set myself some objectives, like some targets. Obviously, like as soon as you start running $1, you want to earn two, and then so on. So, like, I don't know. For instance, my current goal on my Twitter profile is like 5K MRR, and I said it, I think, when I was around 1K. I thought, so roughly 5K. Like, I'm not sure because of tax and conversions, but it's 5K MRR is close to my old like base salary at AWS, because I was working in the UK. So I thought, okay, if I can make my salary uh, out of like my first kind of indie hacking project, that would be cool. And that was the goal, really. But I guess, like if I reach that, hopefully I'll just set something new, something realistic. So obviously, like I'm not just doing random things. Obviously, like, I try to plan, I try to set up some processes. I look at the stats, the churn, and then I try, like to say, okay, what's a reasonable goal? But that's also a bit challenging. And then I try to, come up with solutions, and I do like regularly, I check, okay, stats, how is everything going? Are people using it? Are people liking it? I'm trying to do customer interviews. So it's not like all random. Like it's maybe, yeah. That's not what I meant. What I meant is, like, I wasn't planning for this whole thing, but now that it's happened, I'm embracing it. I'm trying to do my best, and yeah, to put like set up some process for it to run smoothly.
Got it. So the question to you would be like, how do you do your marketing since you really are building something, you really need customers. How do you reach out to your customers?
Yeah, that's again, I think an area where I'm not like a good example. Most people when they start indie hacking, so most indie hackers, from what I've seen, are like software engineers. They either wanted to start their own thing, or they didn't like the job, or both, or whatever, and they often are very clever, and they come up with this nice MVP, and it's super nice, and they add features, but then they realize that the hard thing is actually to sell it, to make a product that people need, and then just to market it. And that's why you see on Twitter all these memes about indie hackers hating marketing, because it's funnier to hack some, like to code some stuff. And for me, I was again that like I didn't do too much. Like when I created the project, I just shared it on socials, on Reddit and Twitter, and I had some pretty good feedback. I also shared it on some specialized Notion Facebook groups. And then because of the few pages I had built, and because Notion is huge, but it's still early. Like people, I don't know, I think they have more than 20 million users now, but it's still early. That means that just with a name of Notion forms and some few pages, I was able to rank first on Google. So now I'd say maybe 90% of the people registering on Notion forms, and there are around, I don't know, 60, 70, 80 per day. They all come from just Google results, like SEO. I'd say 90% of it. I have a few, word of mouth, a few from social networks. I have like few videos talking about like from, kind of Notion influencers talking about the product. But 90% of people just come from because they typed how to build a form with Notion. Yeah. So to be fair, I'm not super good at marketing at all. Like I see some indie hackers there on Twitter doing like amazing thing to, they do newsletters, they do interviews, they do like real stuff, like pretty much like you, they create some real content with good value to advertise the product. And I do nothing of that. I just ranked well on Google.
you, you are making it sound very easy for any listeners out
No,
there.
that's,
They would
I don't
start
want it
thinking.
that yeah, I don't want to make it sound easy. I just, I don't know, it's a bit of a mix of luck, and I don't know. Yeah, I think it's a bit of luck, and I had some SEO knowledge from before, from like past projects. I really invested time before doing like programmatic SEO, generating pages. And with that one, I did like really few pages. I picked the domain name, like it was an easy pick, like Notion forms, and that really helped. And also there is something really important that I realized early on with the product is it's viral by, like, the product is viral by itself. What do I mean by that is, so I build forms, like people build forms with my tool, and then they embed the forms either on their Notion pages, on their website, or whatever. And when they do so, Google considers that this is a backlink to my website. So I have, every user I have is basically building a backlink to my website, to Notion forms. So the domain authority that this is building is super huge. Like Google is saying, okay, a lot of people are pointing to that website, so it must be something. And because of that, I keep ranking high, even though I don't have like that many pages, and my content is not like, I don't have the best copywriting. Everything isn't super clear, but a lot of people are referring to it. Actually, they're just using the form and embedding it. But Google thinks, okay, like this is something, and that's why I because of the way of the nature of the product, that really helps going, I think.
Okay, there is one thing which I pulled out of you now, right? Like I got one info which is really important. So, do you believe in communities? Are you part of communities? Are you part of any groups which makes your discussion with customers as well as you share information to others more easy? Like I know, like you might be definitely on Indie Hacker and other portals, but do you really are part of a group? And have you created any Discord group for your tool or utility what you're building?
I created a Slack group for people building tools above, like, Notion extensions, basically. So you have like, I did all of these guys, the guy building Potion, the guy building Notion to Sheets, and other like projects like this. But to be fair, like, it was a bit useful at first because, we are all having the same issues with the Notion API, that kind of things, but then kind of died off. Like, once in a while, someone has a question and just ask it there, which is useful, but it's not like it's super active. We're not talking there 24/7, like it's pretty much dead. But yeah, like I mean, I'm active on Twitter. I'm an indie hacker, but very passively. I'm just reading stuff. I'm on Reddit also, but again, very passively. Like the only website where like the only community where I'm active is Twitter, and I don't even know if it's a community. But yeah, like in Paris, for instance, there are once in a while Notion meetup. I try to go there, but I'm not like super active. Like I really like this whole community thing, but I'm not the most active person there. But that's something I'm working on. That's something I want to change because now the more time I spend building these kind of projects, the more time I realize the importance of that. Like it's super nice. It's good for you. You get nice idea. You meet nice people, and yeah, it helps you in I think in every aspect of your business.
Got it. So last two questions to you. I will just wrap it up, and maybe it would help. So, how do you communicate about Notion Form to your customers? What would be that one line or a short introduction what you give for Notion Form?
Sorry, how do I communicate or how do I
How do
say
you
it?
tell your story about Notion Form? What is the pitch actually to your customer every time?
It's a SaaS, so I don't get to do many live pitches. I'm not really a salesman, but I'd say yes. A Notion form is like a form builder for Notion users slash Notion power users. So it's basically kind of Google Forms or Typeform just for Notion. So it's really integrated. Like it builds the form automatically from your Notion tables. All the answers are automatically put in your Notion tables. So it's really 100% integrated for Notion and just for Notion. Uh, yeah, pretty much like that.
Yeah, got it. And do you want to tell like what you are doing next? And if you are looking for someone out there for any help or any resources, you can share the same here.
Uh, it's yeah, I'm pretty much trying to grow it. I'm experimenting a bit with pricing. I'm adding new features. Like I have like this one or two huge features that people are keep asking me, and I want to add them, but they're a bit tricky. And I had like I kind of didn't work too much on it for like like past months because I had like other project on the side. So now I really want to get back to it, focus on it. Um, I want to have like this complete form builder because when you think form builders, there are a few features that are really important. I think that are missing from Notion forms, and I really want to try to like build a no-code product. So I have like a Zapier integration, for instance, but I want to let my users be able to do stuff just from Notion, a lot of things just from Notion forms. For instance, I want them to be able to send emails to respondents, like custom emails, that kind of things, without having to do this whole, like Zapier and then Mailchimp and then whatever. Like I want to be able to offer as many features right from Notion forms to all my users. So that's kind of the vision. Yeah, I'm not particularly looking for help right now. Although I'm happy to get any feedback or suggestions, whatever. I think I'm good for now.
Yeah, Julian, thanks so much. And yeah, this was the most honest, super transparent discussion what I had with the indie hacker and the creator because it was free flowing and really intriguing because I'm pretty sure when a person is talking on those lines and he is having fun, definitely there is something to look out for. And I'm pretty sure Notion forms would be interesting in the coming days. So anyone trying to use forms for your Notion platform, please check out what Julian has created. I'll be adding his Twitter ID as well as I'll be sharing links to his product, what he is building, and maybe we can check with Julian in few months from now when he's a well-known entrepreneur and
I love that.
he has created a business which is worth millions of dollars. Yeah, thanks, Julian. Thanks for your time. And
Thanks a lot for having me.
yeah,
Really
it was
enjoyed.
super fun, super fun. So next time I'll be back with another interesting guest, and thanks so much for listening to this show. Thank you.